My name is Abdoullah Kabbaj, and today I will be talking about my integrative case analysis on the famous eyewear company Warby Parker. This presentation will include a brief introduction, and then we're going to talk about how Warby Parker implemented human relations, intercultural relationships, communication issues, and how they went about their ethical decision making. We're also going to have a brief conclusion and then a works cited slide. First, let's have a look at the Warby Parker founders. We have Neil Blumenthal, Andrew Hunt, Jeffrey Rader, and David Gilboa. So, Warby Parker is an innovative e-retailer that manufactures and sells prescription eyewear. They are best known for offering designer eyewear at progressive prices while leading the way for socially conscious businesses. Warby Parker was founded in 2010 by 4 students going to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Warby Parker is a known success story in the eco-friendly and socially conscious business world. When they first started, they were referred to as the Netflix of eyewear. The founders had a clear mission to build a business that could solve problems instead of creating them. They set out to offer an alternative solution to overpriced and underwhelming eyewear. They were also among the first to sell their eyewear online, so customers all over the world can reach them. From the start, they also created the Pupils Program, working with a number of organizations and government agencies to provide free vision screening, eye exams, and glasses to school children. Let's watch a little video on Warby Parker. We have David Gilboa and Neil Blumenthal talking to Entrepreneur magazine.
Transform the eyewear industry, and simultaneously we're trying to demonstrate that you can build a large profitable company while doing good in the world.
David Gilboa and Neil Blumenthal are the co-founders of Warby Parker, a New York-based eyewear brand that distributes a pair of glasses to a person in need for every pair the company sells.
Every month we tally up how many glasses we've sold, and then we make a donation to one of our nonprofit partners. Our primary partner is Vision Spring, which is an amazing nonprofit social enterprise based here in New York, and they train low-income people in the developing world to start their own businesses actually selling glasses in their communities where most of the people are living on less than $4 a day.
As we've seen in the video, Warby Parker is a very socially conscious business. Now, they became a socially conscious business through focusing on certain areas in their company. First of all, we will talk about this organization's implementation of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When this company first started, they offered a solution to a problem. 10 years ago, prescription glasses were expensive and required a long process to attain. As a physiological need, eyesight is vital for people with certain deficiencies to function properly. Warby Parker made attaining prescription glasses for those in need easier through their online stores and ease of fulfillment. Furthermore, they also covered a bigger social need towards society with their social conscious mission to donate a pair every time they sell a pair. As a result of their understanding of their open system, they built brand loyalty with their consumers as well as their community through the non-profit organizations and government initiatives they're involved with. Next, we have Warby Parker's communication issues. In the report, we look at some early communication issues that Warby Parker faced when they first launched back in 2010. A common communication problem most startups encounter during their first launch is the time and distance problem. Most companies that outsource their inventory or services come across communication barriers as a result of the time difference and distance between 2 locations or countries. In Warby Parker's case, they eliminated their distance communication issues by designing and manufacturing their eyewear in-house. They also integrated software on their online platform for consumers to design and virtually try on glasses before ordering them. In return, this saved them a lot of time, money, and miscommunication. Another example of how Warby Parker demonstrated control over their communication issues is by building and encouraging a supportive organizational culture. Neil Blumenthal, co-founder and CEO of Warby Parker, prided himself in his company's core values that encourage employees to learn, grow, and repeat. The company has an internal database of seminars for their employees called WarbyCon that include everything from Bayesian statistics to pop music to gender to real estate. So the company's organizational culture is pushed towards teamwork and creativity. Next, we move on to Warby Parker's intercultural relations. As per their early business model, consumers designed and customized their eyewear online, after which the manufacturing was outsourced offshore to China. In this section on intercultural relations, we will talk about some of the problems Warby Parker encountered. We spoke earlier on time and distance communication issues that Warby Parker eventually eliminated by switching to in-house manufacturing. Before that, they had to cross some intercultural differences with China. The first example we break down is business culture between the US and China. China has a more valued importance to relationships as opposed to the US. They like to get to know you on a personal level before conducting business. This tends to slow down the business process when time is of the essence. Another example Warby Parker encountered with China is the different styles of communication. In the US, business people pride themselves in being tough and dominant, where in China, business people take things at a slower and calmer rate. Now we're going to talk about Warby Parker's ethical principles. When first established by Neil, Andy, Dave, and Jeff, they agreed on a code of ethics that included full company transparency with the public and to do more good to the society than harm. In this section of the case analysis, we will cover some steps Warby Parker took to fulfill their ethical promises. Firstly, they pride themselves in making sure that working conditions for their employees are safe and dignified. They do this through verifying their supply chain to evaluate and address any risks of human trafficking and slavery. They also audit their supplier on a regular basis to ensure a strict code of conduct. They go a step further to certify that any raw materials used by their supplier is not produced with forced labor. Other examples of how they maintain good ethics is their open transparency. They hold themselves and their supplier accountable for any wrongdoing openly. They also encourage training and education. In conclusion, Warby Parker is an innovative B Corporation certified with high transparency, accountability, and performance. Earlier in this analysis, we covered their mission to offer an alternative solution to an existing problem by creating more good to the society than harm. As stated in this report, Warby Parker had their ups and downs, but remained consistent with their vision. Three main points to take away from this innovative and socially conscious company are the following. The first point is their value to human relations that allowed them to create a product that meets a need from Maslow's hierarchy of needs and adopt a known social conscious brand. The second point to take away from Warby Parker is how they handled their communication issues. They adopted an organizational culture that took care of their miscommunication on the long term, both internally within the company and with their open systems. Third and last point to take away from this analysis is solid ethics. Transparency goes a long way, and Warby Parker is proof of that. They pride themselves with transparency of their business affairs and employee treatment. That way, they are held accountable to maintain a safe and fair environment. Lastly, in my own opinion, above all, as a company, they accomplished everything a startup dreams to accomplish. They sell a product that meets a physiological need, they donate and work with many nonprofits to give back to their community. They also pride themselves in their employee treatment and intercultural relationships. With that, I conclude in this integrative case analysis why Warby Parker is a successful B Corporation. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.